Hi, this is Maheen. I am the founder of Maheen the Globe, which is a Seattle-based independent media company. And we're going to continue our conversations, open and honest conversations around mental health and mental wellness. We got a really good response last week, and we have a ton of questions that we're going to address today with our wellness panel. I'm going to start with the introductions. We have Sonia Salam from Arizona. She's a mom entrepreneur and a founder of Calluna Labs, which is the premier CBD wellness brand. And then we have Sabiha Alwy, who is an educational psychologist of therapy solutions. And she's based out of Karachi, and she recently moved from New York. And I wanted to also share like a personalized story. And of course, we have Tessa Hoyos, who's my Seattle intern. So Sonia and I, we were in college together in LUMS, and she was my senior. Every guy had a crush on her. Every girl was envious of her, except me, because I was inspired by her wellness journey. Every other night, I would see her walk around the block in LUMS, and I saw the incredible discipline. So I'm a runner. I would see her walk, and it was almost like a very disciplined thing that she did. And she kept herself fit. And I was like, one day I will ask her her secrets. And with Sabiha Alwy, she actually happens to be my aunt, who I love and adore. And we call her Shanu Khala. And 8 years ago, when I first moved to Indiana, in Carmel, the snowy, artsy town, I got into baking because of her, because she told me about Joys of Baking, which is an incredible website for baking, and I went into my baking spree then. So today the topics we're going to be talking about are anxiety, insomnia, struggling to get out of bed, and binge eating. And so I'm going to start with Sonia. Sonia, how are you feeling as a mom? You're dealing with this business, you're a mom entrepreneur, managing a house, doing all of that. How are you feeling?
Anxious. You can never be calm, and you're always busy all the time. So I'm going to go back to Maheen, what you said, that back in LUMS, it was, I think I was happy at that time, and life is easy. They want a lot of responsibilities. But as soon as you become a mom, it is so stressful and exhausting. It's adorable, but it's extremely exhausting. Like, I feel like the days when I'm a housekeeper, a nanny, a therapist to my entire family, a tech assistant to my parents, all while running a business. It's just insane. And by nighttime, I feel like I don't have any time for myself. And it's just been a crazy journey. So yeah, I mean, that's what my life has been like.
Yeah, I can totally relate. I'm a mom too, and it's just been, this week was tough for me. I did struggle with anxiety. I had a couple of panic attacks yesterday too, and it was weird. I try to do some deep breaths, and I'm a workaholic. So setting firm boundaries or when to check out from work is important, because I'm working across 7 time zones right now. And some people in Pakistan don't have the best of boundaries. Like, they'll WhatsApp you at like 5 in the morning and ask about how the Seattle curve is doing. And I'm like, I am sleeping right now. so Sabiha, I want to talk a little about anxiety in general, but I think with you, I want to talk more about the struggle of getting out of bed. That's something that people are dealing with a lot. And how would you address that?
Okay, so getting out of bed is a problem for a lot of people, because maybe they didn't sleep well at night, slept late at night, bad dreams, whatever, anxiety, stress, it could be a lot of things. But you have to just learn to deal with these things. So first, I would say that you have to have a routine. You have to have a time to get out of bed. You can't just, say, okay, today I'll get out of bed at 8 o'clock and tomorrow maybe 10 o'clock, because your body has to get this message. It's same, like when you go to sleep, you have to get yourself into a routine. Same way you have to just, if you set, some people, they just set up an alarm and then they turn off that alarm and then they again go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's snoozing, and then again after 10 minutes, again it's buzzing. So no, you just, when the alarm rings, you just get out of bed. Get out of bed, and what I do is I just make my bed immediately. So I know that I'm right out of bed and I've got nothing to do with the bed now. So next is, you just, change, take a shower, change, get out of your pajamas and get into your work clothes, because that motivates you to, otherwise if you're in your pajamas, you're just lounging and sitting and, okay, still in a relaxing mode.
Yeah. Got
And
it.
good
Yeah.
thing now is that, it's spring. It's a good weather. You just go out, look at the birds, enjoy nature. With this lockdown, what else can you do? People
Yeah.
are sitting at home. Go out, enjoy nature, and take inspiration from there. Even in this lockout, nature is working. Flowers are blooming, and birds are chirping. Just today, outside my window, there's a bird's nest, and the bird's sitting on the eggs. And it's a very low thing. You can actually see the bird sitting on those eggs. So it's beautiful. Sunshine, sunlight, mood enhance. It's a mood enhancer.
Right.
So do all those things, and then come back. And I would like to suggest that at least just note down, write 5 positive things that are happening in your life right now. Because in all this negativity, there has to be some positive thing in your life.
Got it.
And you have to explore that positivity.
Yeah.
And then after that positivity, if you have, when you find those positivity in your life, then be grateful for that. And
That's
gratitude
beautiful.
is something, it's a beautiful emotion, gratitude, because it extends kindness. When you are grateful, then you become kind to other people.
Yeah.
So
All right, Tessa, did you find this helpful, these tips for getting out of bed?
Yeah, absolutely. I am in college, so I'm taking 18 credits and I'm doing an internship and taking care of, family stuff as well. So it's a lot on my plate right now, especially when I can't go anywhere. I can't see anyone in person. It's a little stressful, but it is helpful to know advice from experts and wellness people.
Yeah, I struggle getting out of bed, but now I have this tiny motivational coach, Maha, 2-year-old toddler. She wakes up, she's like, "Mom, I'm hungry." She'll make a gesture and be like, "Come on, come on." And I'm like, "Okay, I have somebody who can drag me out of bed." So that's been great. Otherwise, it was definitely a struggle. So Sonia, I'm really intrigued by this CBD wellness thing. First of all, thank you so much for sending the samples. I loved using that balm that you had. So I'm a dancer and I do get pulls. And the way my body takes stress, it takes over my body. Stress has a more bodily impact than a mental one. And I do get pulls and stiff muscles and stuff like that. So it was really helpful. So I'll definitely say your CBD stuff is tried and tested. I would want you to talk a little more about that.
Thank you, Maheen. I really appreciate it. So I did want to talk about my personal journey. I've had anxiety for God knows how long. And I feel I talk to so many people and they actually struggle with anxiety. And one of the things that's really helped me is CBD. I take it on a regular basis. It makes me sleep better, sleep throughout the night. And then I wake up with better mental clarity. And it's not a happy drug, right? Because it's going to equip me with the energy to tackle, the stresses of every day. But it's not going to make you happy. It's not a drug. So what I like about CBD is that it is derived from hemp. So it doesn't make you high. It has this amazing power, healing power, to heal anything from pain, anxiety, sleep, because your body already has an endocannabinoid system which regulates all these bodily functions. You have certain receptors in your body. There's CBD1, CBD2 receptors that this indirectly binds to and actually impacts your mood, makes you sleep better. For me, I have anxiety translates into bodily pain. I have neck pain sometimes. My hip will be I have these random pains that come and I'm that I didn't do anything about it. And so, when I tackle my anxiety and use CBD, it really helps. Other things that I actually do other than CBD is, go on a walk. I, like Sabiha was saying, just getting inspiration from nature. I have a vegetable garden. I suck at it. I'm sorry. Nothing, no fruit has come out of it, but it's just exciting to see the little sprouts and just the little fruits that grow that kind of dry out. I don't know why, but that's one of the things that I do. And then, regular exercise, I think that really helps. And when you think about exercise, I don't mean, weights or like doing all these crazy activities. What I'm saying is just go out for a walk for like even 10 minutes. For me, like walking for 10 minutes, I listen to music, you know, it's my time. I just come back rejuvenated. I love my kids a little more. My husband is a little more tolerable. My dirty house looks a little cleaner. So I mean, all of that kind of helps. So it's, you know, CBD has definitely helped, but it's a mix of all of the things.
Yeah, fascinating, fascinating. And so what I do is I dance in the living room and my kitchen these days, especially because there's a lot of rain in Seattle, so the rooftops get shut. And right now we haven't really ventured out and braved enough to like do that. We're just gonna hopefully get into that mode once we're comfortable with the way things are. Um, Sabiha, I wanted to talk more, piling on from this anxiety conversation, about insomnia. So many people suffer from it. I had insomnia yesterday and day before, and it sucked. And I was like, how should I get myself out of it? And I'm also a workaholic. So what tips would you have for insomnia?
Insomnia is like another pandemic, I think, because everybody across the globe is like suffering from insomnia because of all these electronics, all these, you know, every day, all the time you have the social media is posting like messages all the time, WhatsApp messages, this and that. So, but you have to learn to deal with all these things. I mean, this will happen all the time in your life now, but you have to learn to deal with it. So I would suggest that first eat a good healthy lunch and a light dinner. So that your stomach doesn't have to work that lot when you are sleeping. And it, you know, you can sleep well instead of your, you know, stomach howling and growling. Better to eat a light dinner. Then secondly, don't take those, you know, caffeinated drinks, especially if you're insomniac, then don't take it in the early evening, because that will last, the effect will last till night and it will not put you to sleep. Another thing is that you should have, you know, a routine time to go to bed. Because one day you go at 9 p.m. and the other day you go 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Your body will be so confused that what is happening. I mean, you know, your brain needs to get this message that this is shutdown time. You know, 9 o'clock is shutdown time. I have to be in bed. And when you go to bed, then, you know, everything has to be switched off. Your lamps, your TV, your laptops, your phones, whatever, everything. No visual stimulation at all. Not even these, you know, lights. And because at times these lights are very, very, you know, the Alexa light, then there's this microwave light, then there's some other light. You see all these lights from everywhere, and this is very, very disturbing. All these green lights. So try to, you know, avoid all these lights and make it as dark and room as comfortable as temperature control, nice and comfortable, not too hot, not too cold. These things, and then your bed is a place to sleep. No drinking, no eating. You should know this very well, that your bed is just a place to sleep. No other activity should be done in that bed. No eating, no drinking, no working, nothing, no chatting, no nothing. When you're in bed, then your body should know that this is the time to relax and to go to sleep.
Wow.
If you don't do that, then
yeah.
Yes, you have to, you know, otherwise, if you are reading a book and then, you know, you just get distracted. If you don't get to sleep, or if you wake up in the middle of your sleep, it's better to just go out of bed and go sit on a chair and read a book and then come back to your bed. But if you do all this activity, watch TV from your bed, then, I mean, your brain will never get the message that bed is to sleep. So bed should just be for sleeping, so that your body knows that, yes, over here, I'm going to just relax and go to bed.
Well, that's really good advice. And what I do is that I think of it like, so Maha has a routine when she goes to sleep, right? So she'll have her dinner, she'll go for a shower, we read her a book, and then put her to bed. I think of myself as a baby too. I think I need a routine too. So I sometimes do a warm bath or like have a chamomile tea, and reading a book soothes me more than social media. But like with work these days, it's so hard for me to shut the phone off because I'm constantly checked in. So that's really good advice to like shut off. So one thing I've started doing, which has been helpful, is like I shut off my phone, and then on my Alexa app, I just put the alarm for getting up. So I don't have to use my phone for the alarm. and I do some meditation exercises at night, and that's been helpful. Tessa, what do you do? What's going on with you?
So last night I've been trying to switch up the routine and be more mindful of, okay, I need to go to sleep. So I drank some tea and I just kind of sat downstairs and I was talking with a friend, and so I kind of kept that out of bed so that when I got to bed, I could just get into sleep mode.
Yeah, that was helpful for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So now I want to like just get into this light conversation about is on a cooking and baking spree, and it's like a competition on social media. Who's cooking better? Who's cooking up a storm, you know? But with that, they're also piling on the weight. So it's like a double whammy situation. And so I wanted to ask Sonia, what do you think people should do with that? I mean, they have access to the kitchen, it's right there. And how should you control? Like, do we do portion control? How should we go about something like that?
So Maheen, one thing that's a joke is that there are a lot of like free visuals out there and recipes. Just use those for social media instead of making them. But that was a joke. But you know, what I really do is, because I love to keep my weight in like within the healthy weight limit. And so what I do is that I make healthy choices. So I will bake, but I'm gonna, instead of using enriched flour, I'm gonna use maybe oat flour or, you know, other paleo flours. Actually, I picked two out of my kitchen that I already have. Like this one is actually nut flour blend. So it's paleo, it's just nuts. But if you have allergies, you can use like, this is another one that I use for my kids. It's like buckwheat flour.
Love it.
So that's the two things that I do. And then, you know, just use fruits as sweeteners in your desserts. Another thing that I use is, and it's almost empty, is a monk fruit sweetener. It's 0 calories. And, you know, even my kids love it. They can't even taste that, you know, it's not real sugar. So, I mean, having a lower calorie option really helps because, you know, I feel like we're all influenced by, you know, all those visuals and people baking. Like on my WhatsApp, I have like 10 people baking a cake, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a bad mom. Maybe I should just bake. And so, you know, I do it. I'm influenced, but I make healthy choices.
That's a really good response. And so with our case, like my husband's been baking a lot. But one thing that has thrown me off is the fasting. It's a month of fasting, and some people fast, some don't, which is fine. But I have been, and it's been a struggle because my body got a shock, right? So I was pregnant, and then I was nursing my daughter, and now I'm fasting after like 2-3 years. So it's an adjustment. But with that, I'm on 1 meal a day. So it's a nice detox that's going on. But then during the time of iftar, which is breaking a fast, I am like eating all sorts of sugary stuff. And so I'm just trying to keep a check on what I eat and what I don't eat. So Sabiha, I'll ask you a little about that, about the baking spree and you know, how we should manage ourselves. And also thank you so much for for sending iftar to my parents' house yesterday. That really made my day. And they're like on their own right now. So I just saw pictures on WhatsApp, and I wanted to just express my gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you. Not at all. You know, we are just baking and making and cooking and mostly frying. This Ramzan is, you know, mostly frying things. But then it's always nice to share, and especially in this lockdown, social distancing, you know, physical distancing, but emotionally you can be connected. And I thought this is a good way of being emotionally connected to my family. And her mother is my cousin, and a very dear cousin. And otherwise we would meet and, you know, go for brunches and get-togethers and all that. But now we are not doing all that. So I sent this to all my cousins, you know, just a little token.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, Sabiha, everyone's on a baking spree, right? How should we contain ourselves and deal with this? You know, if we don't want to cook and bake or get pressured with the social media that everyone's doing that. I mean, how should we deal with something like this?
Discipline yourself. You know, you have to just discipline yourself and see. And most important in this lockout and in this COVID-19 situation is that you have to stay healthy. You have to consciously remember this all the time, that you have to stay healthy to improve your immunity. And if you're going to have all this sugary stuff, then obviously your immunity is not going to, you know, be good. Yeah. You have to You have to know that. I was reading somewhere that in the US, there's a shortage of yeast because everybody's baking. Shortage of yeast, and there's shortage of flour also. So because people are buying and people are just baking and making all kinds of breads,
Yeah.
But somebody can become a big, very accomplished baker doing all this. These are just exploring your hobbies, and maybe there's some good also in it.
That's
But you have to definitely
more creative for sure. Tessa, I wanted to ask you, what are your habits, eating habits right now at home?
Yeah, so I'm having a dinner at consistent times, which doesn't really happen when I'm at school because either I have a big assignment due or my boyfriend has a big assignment due and we can't really like cook together, which is something we make sure to do. So with my mom cooking here, it's just a consistent time and I'm usually eating breakfast and all that stuff. So it's good. I stopped drinking soda like maybe 2 years ago and I just,
Good job.
yeah, I try to watch my sugar intake. So I'm not really a sugar person that much. Of course, I'll have like dessert or ice cream or something, but yeah.
Oh, well, we're pretty much wrapping up here. So wondering if you guys have any afterthoughts to share. Sonia, I can start with you.
Just to be, well, my thought would be stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive, spend time with family. Even though you're in lockdown, it's not going to happen again, hopefully, and where you actually get to connect with, your spouse, your parents. I've been FaceTiming my sister, some of my friends I'd never spoken to in years. So, I mean, Zoom is there. There's so many technologies. Stay connected, exercise, eat healthy, and just be happy. For me, my happiness is, I see, in the night when my kids are asleep, I see them breathing and I'm like, oh my God, they're so cute and they're so calm. And, just count your blessings.
Yeah,
That's what I would suggest.
That's really good. That's really good thing to share. And so I think even with me, I feel like I'm much more present and my husband's much more present. Like sometimes after his meetings, he'll just come down and say, hi, how are you guys? And it's just, we love it, and we're definitely doing more playtimes with Maha and it's been incredible. And I'm exploring things about my family I didn't before because we were just so preoccupied with life. And even with these chats, I have these WhatsApp groups with like Boston friends, New York friends, London friends, and just keeping tabs on each other has been really helpful week by week to motivate and to just get going. Sabiha, what would you like to share?
These days we are sharing family pictures on WhatsApp groups, and that is so much fun, going through old family pictures and just remembering all those things. This picture was taken at certain picnic and so many people were there. This is somebody's wedding. So it's, bringing back good memories. And I think that is a good way of staying connected. And as she said, Sonia said, be positive, stay positive and take care of your health because most important these days is taking care of your health. Eat good, sleep well and stay connected and be happy.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I am so honored to have both of you on. I have a special connection to each of you. And I just love we had such an intergenerational panel and the conversations are flowing beautifully. Thanks so much for your time. And we'll tap again to your networks again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.